How long do you need to wait for your consulate interview? In this video, we are going to talk about each countries, at least the Latin countries, in which you need to wait a certain amount of days to get your appointment in a consulate or embassies around the world. So, however, we are going to talk about some countries that are very popular in our YouTube channel, and you are going to have an idea how long do you need to wait for those appointments in these consulates. We are going back in a couple of seconds. This is Attorney Luis Victoria from Miami, Florida in the United States of America. I hope you are very well in this December. We are approaching the Christmas days, so I wish you the best and to your family too. So please thumbs up to this video because it's going to be content material for you, for those people who are going to be in need of this information. So we are going to talk about the waiting times in the Department of State around the world. Especially we are going to talk about the Latin countries, specifically in Central America, Latin countries like Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and these countries are very popular in our YouTube channel. So therefore, we are going to talk about how long time do you need to wait for example, for immigrant visas, for student visas, and for example, for non-immigrant visas rather than F visas, F1 visas, and also tourist visas. So let's do in this presentation. I told you that we are going to talk about immigrant visas. Now we are going to talk about non-immigrant visas, such as tourist visas, student visas, and the other like not very common non-immigrant visas, for example E2 visas, O1 visas, etc. So US appointment waiting times by country is this particular video. So for example, first of all, I need to clarify that these countries are showing the waiting times for different type of visas, but not for the 220G. The 220G is a different issue, so you need to wait for a certain amount of times, normally 180 days, in order to get a response. And before that time, it's not very good to submit an inquiry with the NVC. So after that time, you can start asking them what about your responses or what happened with your particular case. This US visa appointment and waiting times can change weekly. So this particular video is based on December 2nd of 2021. So it means that next week can change this information. However, in December, more likely that it's not going to change this information at all. With respect to emergencies appointment, you need to submit, or you need to meet you need to meet an urgency criteria. For example, medical emergencies, school start dates, funerals, etc. So you cannot submit an expedited request just because you have been waiting for like a couple of months more than the expected time that you had to wait. You need to have a real emergency in order to submit an expedited request. As I told you, this video is based on December 2nd, 2021. Also, you need to be able to planify ahead in order to, when you are going to travel to the United States throughout a non-immigrant visa, because you need to wait. You need to wait a long time sometimes in order to get that appointment. So first, we are going to start with Argentina. Argentina is a country that now is opened. This embassy is open for the the Argentine citizens and other people that maybe are waiting for their interview in this particular country. And as you can see right now in this presentation, the visitor visa for this country, the waiting time is 450 days. Student visas, instead of that, is only 10 days, which is a good amount of days, so not like a long waiting time. And the other visas, the waiting time for this appointment is the average is 5 days. For example, E2 visas, etc. So the other country that we are going to analyze is Guyana. Guyana, I mean, we have a lot of Cuban people. These people have been waiting for a long time, and in this country, as you can see, is 414 days. Remember, we are talking about non-immigrant visas. This is not for immigrant visas, like based on a family-based visas or something like that. So this is for non-immigrant ones. So student visas, the F1 visa is only 1 day. So remember that if the student or the prospect student is waiting to come here to US in order to start his or her studies or his course, particular college, so you need to think ahead, you need to apply ahead, but the waiting time is only 1 day in this country and 8 days for other type of non-immigrant visas. Let's do it for Ciudad Juarez. Okay, we forgot to change the flag over here. So, however, in this particular city in Ciudad Juarez, we see that is a long waiting time for visitor visas is 700 days. So it's incredible. And for student visas, again, 3 days. And for the other non-immigrant visas is only 2 days. So again, every country has a different average, a different like policies, and remember that these embassies, these consulates are depending on the regulations of those particular countries. It means that one country can be different than the other with respect to the COVID regulations. So that's why we see a different trend between one country and the other. For example, Nicaragua, look at this. It's only 1 year for the waiting time for visitor visas. So meanwhile, we see that the student visas is 14 days, the waiting time to get an appointment, and the other non-immigrant visas is only 14 days. Or on the other side, for Colombia is only, before, I think a week ago, so I was talking with some of my clients that the waiting time for visitor visas were kind of like near to 700. Now we see that it's 538. So it means that they start lowering those average for visitor visas. So it means that maybe a person is going to wait until 2023 in order to get this appointment for visitor visas. For on the other side, for student visas is 121 days, so it's a long time. So it means that the advice for these people, for these prospect students in Colombia, you need to apply ahead with good time. With respect to the start time of your school, because it's 121 days the waiting time for your appointment. And finally, as I told you before, kind of like a week ago, we were talking about 14 days for the waiting times for the non-immigrant visa, the other ones, rather than the visitor ones. So now it's 85 days, which means that for some reason they increased the non-immigrant ones and they lowering the visitor ones. So now Dominican Republic, which is one of the most popular countries around the world with respect to the immigrants and people who are looking to come here as visitors, as immigrants in general, is a very popular country. We have a lot of clients, very good people from Dominican Republic. As we can see, visitor visas are closed for now, so emergency appointments only, and student visas is a good average, 15 days to get an appointment for a student visa. And on the other side, we have all other non-immigrant visas, only 7 days. This is a good average for this Dominican Republic. Now we have Ecuador. I'm sorry for the flag now. We didn't change the Colombia one here, so it's very similar. So by the way, in this country, we have a good average for a waiting time for the visitor visas, which means the tourist visa is only 367 days, which means that is pretty much 1 year for waiting time to get that appointment or to obtain to get the visitor visa. On the other side, 4 days for the student visas is almost nothing, and 3 days for the other non-immigrant visas. So let's do it with Guatemala. Guatemala is emergency appointments only for visitor visas. It means that they don't have appointments for B1, B2. Let's see what happened with this Omicron, the new trend for COVID. It means that maybe sometimes we need to wait a little bit, but President Biden says that there is nothing about panic. You don't need to be worried about panic because this is something that is controlling. Dr. Fauci he says that as long as the person has the vaccine, there is no any concern about it. So it means that we see that as long as the person and around the world is continue with the vaccines trend, so there is no any concerning about this new trend of the Omicron and COVID. So for now in Guatemala it's only 1 day for students visas, and it's only 1 day for the older and non-immigrant visas. So we have now Honduras. Honduras is long wait time for the visitor visas. It's almost 2 years. 2 years, almost 2 years is 653 days to get that appointment for the visitor ones. For the student visas is 7 days, it's almost nothing, and 2 days for the other non-immigrant visas. We have Salvador, only emergencies. This embassy is almost closed. It means that they have been working only for immigrant visas, but not for non-immigrant visas. So now we finished this presentation. So it was a very, very important tool, because you are going to know how to be able to planify your trip to United States. This because think about it, that maybe you are planning to come here to as a for pleasure, for for tourists, or you are planning to continue your studies, or you are going to start school in January, in February, whatever. So you need to be able to obtain this information in order to planify ahead, because many people, they think that you guys are going to obtain the appointments very quick, and that's not the the issue right now. The issue now is, instead of that, you need to wait a long time. So that's pretty much the conclusion of this video. Thank you so much again for being here. We are now more than 40,000 subscribers now. I mean, almost in a small town is watching this video. So thank you so much for supporting this wonderful YouTube channel. Please thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also to click in the bell, in order to get information ahead about our particular videos. Thank you so much. This was Attorney Luis Victoria from Miami, Florida, in the United States of America. See you next time. Thank you so much.